Hello and welcome to Two Wheels and a Conspiracy. The video that I'm about to hopefully upload, this is actually the second time. I had uploaded it already, but strangely there was no sound. So I thought, you know what, I'll nip out and I'll do it again. So, go for a quick ride, a little chat. And just enjoy myself. So I hope you guys are okay. Can't believe how quick this week has gone. And now Saturday's almost over too. On with the topic. So the main topic I wanted to talk about was Gary McKinnon. I actually sat down earlier, did a little bit more research of things that I could find, things that he's actually said himself. But before talking about him, I'd like to talk about somebody else quickly. That's someone called Donna Hare. Now, she used to work at NASA in Building 8. And she had what I thought was quite an interesting story. So she claims, again, it could be true, she claims that while she was working at Building 8, one of her co-workers called her into his lab, I suppose, like a photographic lab. He called her over and pointed at a picture and said, "What do you think that is?" Now, it was a picture of a circular disc, quite high up, down above the trees. And she thought it was some sort of a blot or something to do with cohesion or adhesion, I'm sorry, I forget. But he basically turned around and said that whatever she called it doesn't cast a shadow. So what she was basically looking at was a UFO. He then went on to tell her that his entire job is to airbrush these crafts, I suppose, out of the pictures. I just thought it was quite interesting, and if you didn't know, I wanted to share that with you guys. Over here for a minute or two. Right, so I said I wanted to talk about Gary McKinnon. Now this is all his words on one of his interviews. I've seen quite a few of them because I'm interested in the guy. But this is basically direct notes from what he was saying. He starts off by talking about the sort of systems that NASA was running while he was looking for stuff. He says NASA ran Windows and a program called NetBIOS over the net. NetBIOS is an office protocol for Windows and was very unsecure, so very easy to get into. NASA also wasn't using non-routable internet address, which would have made them private, and they didn't even have a firewall. He then goes on to say that this one method he used to gain entry to the Army, Navy and the Pentagon. He also saw other hackers from all over the world in the systems that he was in while he was on them. By doing a simple command, it showed him where they were from all over the world. Now, the time frame that Gary was in the systems until he was arrested was 18 months to 2 years. He goes on to say it was months and months before any interesting information was found. And the first one, let's turn this off, was documentation, an Excel spreadsheet that was actually called non-terrestrial officers, with ranks and names, and a separate sheet with tabs for material transfer between ships. To try to look for a normal scenario for what he was looking at, he did an extensive search on the phrase non-terrestrial officers, but he found nothing. So he took this to mean there must be a secret space organisation. The ships on the material transfer sheet all started with USS, which implies Navy. The non-terrestrial officers sheet had around 25 names and around 8 to 10 different ship names. Gary did a search for the ship names, but no information was found. And all of this information so far was found on a Navy system. Gary then went on to find machines with blank administrative passwords in Building 8's computers, which basically gave him full access to what they had. And what he found were folders called raw and filtered, or processed and unprocessed. These files were 20 megabytes, but in the days of 56k dial-up, which is what he was using at the time, downloading took a very long time. He had remote control of the desktop using a program called Remote from Anywhere. He clicked on an image, turned the colour down to try and speed up the download, and it started to judder slowly down his screen. He only got to see about half of the picture. It was a hemisphere, probably the Earth, because it was blue, and also in the picture was a classic cigar-shaped UFO with no seams, no rivets, no workmanship on the outside, except for one human-looking thing, which was small domes. Apparently they were above and below, and on the left and the right, which flowed inwards seamlessly into the craft. That's when someone else remotely moved Gary's mouse icon to the dial-up ICOM clicked and removed him from their systems. This image led to his arrest. This began an 11-year battle from March 2000 to October 2012. First Gary knew about this was when he got a knock on the door repeatedly, loudly, and calling out his name. He woke up to a detective from the National High-Tech Crime Unit who arrested him on the spot for hacking charges. They did an on-the-spot search of his home, searched his girlfriend, then took away his computer and computers he was fixing for friends. After a few months, his friends' computers were returned. His hard drive, that's Gary's, was never given back. At his first interview, he confessed to what he'd done and was told he would possibly get 6 months in prison, or maybe not even that, maybe community service. So, it didn't seem like that big a deal at the time. The NHTC officers went to Washington. When they came back, they had a very different attitude. No longer was it 6 months or community service. Suddenly they were saying it is very serious. Gave him a second interview. There was no lawyer present at his first one. The charges they wanted to charge Gary with was conspiracy, working with others, which he wasn't. And the NHTC officers were saying there could be some long jail time. The US want you bad. A lot of pressure from Washington on the UK police. The American charge sheet, when Gary saw it, had damage claims, which he denies as he was simply a presence within their systems. The Americans wanted to extradite Gary to the US, and they made that extradition ask, if you like, in 2005. Now, the whole thing could have been kept quiet quite easily, which led Gary to believe that he was being made an example of. Now, the only reason he didn't get extradited was Theresa May. She basically refused it. And that is all of the interview that he gave. I find it really quite interesting. Especially, you get people saying, well, if there were UFOs, we'd know about it. And then you consider what Donna Hare was saying about airbrushing the pictures out so they're not there. It does go to show that if there is a presence, a lot is being done to keep it from us. Well, I hope you like that little short video. I'm going to go for a quick ride and then probably head back home. So you can either carry on watching and enjoy the scenery, or I'll say goodbye and I will upload a new video very soon about a different topic. Now, all of the topics that I do talk about, to the best of my ability, I do research them. It's not easy when there's so much going on. Plus, you never know what you're researching, if it's true or not. I do what I can. Well, definitely hoping this one stays uploaded and you can actually hear what I'm saying. That's half the point of me going out on these nice rides, is just talking about stuff that I enjoy, that I've researched. If you can't hear it, there's really no point. This looks like a good place to turn around. Nice, and we're off. Being a motor vlogger definitely isn't as easy as it looks. You see other people sort of naturally chatting away, make it look so easy. But if I'm honest, I do enjoy it. That little route is definitely becoming one of my favourite routes of my area. Stayed with me till the end. Nice one. This will be signing off and saying I'll catch you next time. Bye.